Hello, everybody, and we are back again. L.A. Kendrick with part two of Demon Stream from the House of Havoc, the Crib of Chaos. Let's get right into it. So, when we last spoke, we witnessed the success of JC and Tamika. Streaming is taking off just immaculately. And a couple of days go by, and he's getting ready for his next daily stream. So he invites his friend Grip over. Now Grip is one of those friends that he, met in like the 7th grade. These guys have been really cool ever since. He's the kind of guy that's got your back. You can leave your girl around him, wouldn't sell you out. Is about as rock solid as they get. He's that guy that's going to look out for you when you're not actually looking out and seeing things for yourself. So he's that kind of good friend where he just keeps it real and he won't sell you out. He's always the guy that's with the investigative mind and making sure that things are on the up and up. So JC and Grip are getting ready for the next stream. Now, mind you, at this point, JC has 400,000 followers. Very close to 500,000. So he's working. He seems to be he's working a little harder now, or streaming a little longer. And so when Grip comes over, Grip's noticing. He's like, "Yeah, man, you got a nice layout here. You got everything you need. This is some pretty cool stuff. I'm digging it. I'm digging everything you got set up here. Liking this. And it's only cost you $250? Give me that guy's address and his name again. I want to Google and do some background searching on him. Just to make sure." Well, no, Grip, it's good. It's just one of those things where, I got a good bargain because of what's going on with the coronavirus and everything, the pandemic. So I got a good deal. A lot of people are trying to make ends meet, so they're doing what they got to do. Okay, yeah, but still give me the information so I want to check it out. Make sure this is legit. This stuff ain't hot. Okay, here you go. Here's the information. So JC gives them the information, and then they start the stream. And it goes on for a couple of hours, and they're having a good time. They get a couple of invites to be at some of the major tournaments online. And for big money. And so again, the money is flowing in very, very lucratively. And he's, JC's enjoying everything about the benefits of what it's like to be independently working. And he's just really enjoying himself. He doesn't have to take the abuse from the jobs currently that he just lost. So he's really, really enjoying everything. Then the breaker kicks again. So JC sighs and says, "Oh man, again?" And Grip tells him, he said, "You need to really get that thing looked at." JC tells him, "Yeah, it doesn't happen that often. It happens maybe once every 3 or 4 or 5 months, but it's been happening pretty regular since I've gotten this setup. But the setup isn't draining any more power than what's been going on prior. I've already checked that out." And Grip says, "Well, you know what? Just keep doing what you're doing. Hold tight. I'll go trip the breaker back." So Grip goes in. JC sits back in his chair and he sighs for a minute because he's really, really enjoying himself. He's really having a good time. And he comes back. Grip comes back, and when Grip comes back in, the power, of course, the power's been reactivated. And JC reboots, and there's that image, a flash of that image of this really strange image. And JC asks Grip, "Did you see that?" And Grip says, "I caught the tail end of it, but I think it's just a bug in the system." And then JC lets him know, "Hey, this pops up every now and then. It's kind of strange, but okay." So they continue streaming, getting good views, getting good chat. And one of the chat members asks JC, "Hey, what happened to your last job?" And JC lets him know There was a fat guy at the job that was a manager, supervisor, whatever he was, whatever position he held, named Mark Berkeley. But they called him Mark Broccoli because it was so big he needed to be on a diet. Didn't like him for whatever reason and chose to fire him. And then JC left it at that. So Grip says, well, I'm enjoying your setup, man, but I'm going to go ahead and go check up on this information and see what I can, the intel on this guy here and see if he's legit. JC says, okay, he said, yeah, I've been streaming for a while, so it's like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. They've had something to eat, and Grip leaves. He said, I'll holler at you later. And JC says, okay. So JC keeps his monitor and everything on and tells his chat that he'll talk to him later. He'll pick up in a couple of hours because he's going to do a double stream and so just be prepared so they can come back. So JC takes a nap on his sofa in his man cave, and he's just, he's relaxing and he's in a deep sleep, and he starts having these nightmares about things that he can't understand and stuff reaching out to grab him and touching him and just all kinds of weird stuff. But in the reality, in the real world, in the non-sleeping world, in the woke world, there are two hands coming out of the walls. And there's another set of hands just coming out like in shadow form, and they're reaching for him. And as they do, JC wakes up and the hands dissipate, they disappear. And JC doesn't know that was happening. He just thought it was a dream. So he wakes up to the waking world and he just sees it as a dream. So he gets a call from Grip. He gets a text message from Grip, and Grip tells him, hey, step out of the room. I need to tell you about a few things. And as he does, JC, he notices that it's 7 o'clock. So JC steps out of the room and he says, yeah, what you got? And he said, this guy is kind of strange. In fact, his shop has just been burned down. And he's got cultist ties. He said, what do you mean cultist ties? He says, well, a demonic cult. And he sells these products to people, and mysteriously that building goes up in flames. But this time they've got it on camera, and he shows them the video stream. And what it's showing is that some people came back and they burned the building down. And the guy's standing there, talking to the reporters and the police, and he's, this shouldn't happen. And he's got this real sinister vibe to him, and the people are trying to get at him, but they're being arrested and held down on the ground. They're telling him that he's a demon and he sold us demon products, and I lost my whole family. You can see these people screaming. And so JC's taken back by this a little bit. And Grip said, that's what you got right there. He said, but I'm going to do a little bit more research on this. So you just keep doing what you're doing. Keep streaming. Keep enjoying the success. All right. But you need to keep your eye open. They're saying something about 999,000. And JC said, so what does that mean? He says, well, I don't know, but I'm going to do more research for you. So JC and Grip cut the conversation short. JC goes back to streaming. But he notices he has some food. He has some food waiting on him by Tamika. Tamika has some food waiting on him. And JC turns on his monitor. I mean, not the monitor, but he turns on the camera. Lets everybody know he's going to be streaming here in a little bit. And so he thinks that he turns his camera off or on pause. But he actually lets the camera keep rolling so he can take a quick bite of what he's got. And while it's still kind of warm. And as he's sitting down, the chat's going crazy. And they're saying there's something behind you, there's something behind you. But JC's not noticing it. And he said there's somebody there. The chat is telling him, hey, there's somebody in the room with you. There's somebody in the room with you. So the shadow figure gets closer to JC. And JC looks at the sandwich and is like, baby, I hate salt. So he takes the salt that's available to him, and it actually knocks it over. And he takes the salt from the table, he sweeps it in his hand, he throws it over his shoulder, and when he does, it hits the shadow figure, and the shadow figure, all you hear is a psst, and it disappears. So JC looks back as if to say, what the hell was that? And then he looks at the chat, and he sees that the chat is saying, there's something behind, there's something in the room. So JC stands up real quick and looks around, because he can hear that hissing sound, but then it's gone. And JC sits down and he talks to the chat, and he's saying, what are you guys talking about? He puts his headset on. He said, what are you guys talking about? And they said, well, they were saying there's something in the room. And JC says, you guys are just messing with me. And then his moderators say, no, we saw it too. So JC's looking around, and he said, did somebody clip that? And he says, everybody in the chat's like, no, we didn't clip it. So JC's still looking and trying to figure out what's going on. So they send him, somebody from one of his moderators send him a clip, and the clip doesn't show anything. So JC said, yeah, you guys just mess with me. Good joke, good spooky joke. So JC puts his food to the side and continues streaming, but he still has this uneasy feeling like there's something going on in the house. And he keeps on streaming, having a good time, racking up the subs, the view accounts going crazy. Everybody's loving what he's doing, and he cannot be more ecstatic about what's happening in his life. The transformation of his life and his finances have just really been boosted and blustered. So he's really getting into it, and by the time he looks up, it's like 3 a.m. And he's getting a little bit tired, and the chat's still in there strong with him. The view account is really high still. In fact, it's more than it was earlier. But JC's, about to wrap it up, and as he does, something runs heavily behind him. Boom, 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 boom. And JC looks back, and he doesn't see anything. And the chat said, what's going on? You keep looking around like you're seeing something. And JC's like, well, I thought I heard something in the background. Might have been my girl. So JC says, tell everybody he says to hold on for a few minutes while he checks on his girl. And he goes and looks, and he recognizes that she's asleep. Been asleep for quite some time, it seems like. So he comes back and he tells the chat, he said, well, you know what, chat, I'm going to wrap it up. We're going to pick up tomorrow where we started, okay? And JC didn't even notice that his phone was giving him alerts, and there's an email in it from Grip's girlfriend, and she's got a really bad message for him, and she says, Grip's in the ER. He's had a bad car wreck, been in a bad car accident, and could he please come over? So even though it's late, JC jumps in his car. He leaves a note for Tamika, and he tells her where he's going, and he drives all the way to he drives to the hospital, just speeding to the hospital to see about his friend, because it was pretty near fatal accident. And when he gets to the hospital, he can see Grip's girlfriend, and she's explaining to him that he was in the OR, and it was nip and tuck, touch and go, and he almost didn't make it, but he's okay now. And so JC stays with Grips and his girlfriend until visiting hours, or until they can actually see him again to where he's conscious. And so they both just, JC sleeps outside, and the girlfriend is in the room with Grip. And JC's trying to figure out what's going on, because none of this happened until until Grip started looking around for information about what's going on. And with that, JC dozes off. I'm going to leave it right there. You guys, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, okay? This work is for you guys. It's a hobby of mine, and I have published work already out on Barnes & Noble, Ingram, Amazon, Kindle, and Nook, okay? Got published work already out. If you guys want to donate to my Cash App, you can do that too. It really does help when I have to pay for the editing and the publishing for the other books that I'm trying to get. I got two I'm trying to get out right now. And it really does help. So if you want to show some support, please feel free to. You don't have to, but anything is greatly appreciated. Thank you guys for tuning in and spending a little time with me. Hopefully these stories are hitting you where they need to hit you, but this is going to get more intense as it goes on. Where do you hear the next part of the story? And with that being said, make sure you check your closets, the dark recesses of your home, underneath your beds. And if you happen to work at night, please step out, check your surroundings, check underneath your car, because you never know what's lurking in the dark, waiting to make you a story. And this has been L.A. Kendrick from the House of Havoc, bringing you the heavy.